half an hour off Glasgow. Make my way. Okay. Oh god. What am I doing here? And the plan is to have a paddle around Jura and Islay, I guess. There is quite a bit of swell on the west coast, but I should be quite excited. Not really looked at the area very much, trying not to overplan it. Hopefully the weather is a bit kinder here, going down this far south than it is in the Outer Hebrides. That's just a complete blowout. I am glad I didn't go. The absolute legend of this hotel here is actually nowhere really to go, but they have got a spot specifically for campers. Brilliant. So I've been able to camp next to the hotel right in the port, which was very cool, very nice of them. First night, great spot. Just stopped, pulled them up over and have a quick look around. I'm just about to launch. The ferry went by a few minutes ago. Well, quite a late start today. I won't go very far. It's blowing an absolute hootie. Route not to. Down. It was quite hard today. Didn't do much mileage. Stopped at a whiskey place. Going against the wind all day, which was quite hard. I'm just gradually working my way along the O of Ely. It's the southernmost point coming up the next half an hour or so. So as I'm coming around, there's a 3 meters really of swell, 2.5 meters of swell. There's a pretty close to the coastline. If you look at the hours there, it doesn't look like you can land anywhere. The wind is lighter than the forecast, which is good. There's a little bit of tide running, it's also good. But it's quite intense here. Lord. Got quite a lot of respect for this place. Jesus. It looks proper formidable. It's stuck with loads of birds on it. I'm not gonna lie, it feels so committing and so out there. I've got 3 meters swell at 12 seconds today. Brilliant, considering the size of the swell, to be able to come into this. of these swells are... Look at this guy. My God. Bit of a headwind, very light though. About halfway out to the Port Haven or Prin of Ely. It's a lighthouse on an island. I just had a Mars bar. It's been living in my container the last 3 months together with a box of resin and pigments, and you can just very faintly taste the boat making. I ended up doing this crossing actually from down here across the bay, Loch Indal. Took me about 3.5 hours. Carbonara. You'll find it stressful and exhilarating. It's a real head game for me. Got to another island. Very wild. It's all very wild. There's no roads here again. It's a wild feeling place. The swell today has been ever present. So coming into this part of the island has been really cool. Then have a nice sheltered spot. Probably my favorite thing about paddling in swells, when you do find these little nooks and crannies. In the heart of the Inner Hebrides, I'm just up here, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna go up to Coronsay and try and get around it, and then the day after go across. The next couple of days still looks reasonably settled, or tomorrow anyway, so well good enough to go across. And then the following day there's westerly winds, so I'll probably use that to get me up. And there's Corrie Wrekin up here, so I think if the weather plays I might then go up into that area. Got the chart for that in the maps, and then in a few days get myself down this coast. Oh shit, right there, that's just plain rude. Okay, it's got a cunning plan. Go over to Colonsay now. So satisfying coming into a safe harbour. Fatdal Jura, Scarpa, town of Corrie Wrekin, the Grey Dogs, then the small isles. This now is all the Isle of Mull. It's very surreal. Thousands, tens of thousands. Never heard of Colonsay. Great place to visit for birds. It's all right up there with Dover and the Shan. Without the tourists, actually. your kelp and get into your day hatch, get the salami out. Now I'm back for the keeps and a cup of tea. Looking over to the island, Ely and Jura. It was a 5 AM start today, otherwise I won't get out of this reef. I have just enough water to float out of here. It's the west side of Jura, and it's probably one of the more remote places in the Inner Hebrides. No roads, no buildings, there's no sign of human habitation anywhere that has ever been. And I'm trialing my cycling arm warmers with a short sleeve KAG. My long sleeve KAG is just, I feel like I'm more wet and uncomfortable in it than anything else. And so far I'm quite liking this, because they're also quick drying and they're a little bit insulated. If it works for cycling in the winter months, I can't see why it doesn't work for paddling in the Scottish summer months. This is one of the buffies, and they're usually locked. But today, oh yes, oh yes. So it's right up on that, where's the bay, there you go, up on here. And on my left is the Sound of Corryvreckan. There's a lot of tide. This is a back eddy. It's a tricky one right now. Somewhere out in this channel, the tide would be going north, but here it's going west. And ideally I managed to get onto the north going tide and get myself up to Lunga. Just making myself some hot drinks. Actually warmed up now, but I was quite cold at one point. It's a proper Scottish June, and it's absolutely wazzing it down. Is what it is. Managed to do a nice big chunk of Jura today. Went up the west coast of it, over the top of Jura, and then paddled more or less directly east and got into the main flow, which is sort of east of Scalpa. So I crossed the Sound of Corryvreckan, and there was a lot of flow there, and it was pretty I was in umming and ahhing about to start with, but there wasn't really anywhere to camp, and I didn't want to go south because then I would have to go back up again, and it didn't make sense to me. It's quite a lot of wind this morning. Nowhere forecasted. Still going. I still think they're the way forward, if you can let go of some of the stresses that come with cooking on fire. Going down the Great North. Running quite hard, I guess. Never been in go. To surf in this. Very cool to see it. I'm really tempted. But no, the last thing I want is a beach ball in this. There's got to be stuff floating everywhere. It's a bit more frisky just straight ahead. Just some greenish waves. Yeah, look. Go on then. Yeah, this looks down here fairly friendly. Just a bit of white cappy stuff. Take it easy. Dropping down. A black guillemot. I'm trying to film one for absolute ages. And there he is. In a quarry. In the slide out. So far the wind has been a lot lighter than forecasted, so continuing south, getting to Lowlandsmans Bay. Turning the corner, Rosedale Island, and heading back into the Sound of Ely. So I've been going for 9 days. Stayed near the distillery last night on Jura. Like I laid an egg. Alright, here we go. Oh shit. Thank you. Tuck it in there, yeah, nice. Thank you. One for the big plate and then
going?
Hey?
How did you go?
I got around it all, yeah. I like Jura and Coronsay.
Oh, that's not bad.
A lot. Thanks.